Good day, everyone. Today, I will discuss the list view control in Windows Form. A list view control is a window that displays a collection of items. List view controls provide several ways to arrange and display items and are much more flexible than simple list boxes. For example, additional information about each item can be displayed in columns to the right. These views can be customized by setting various properties such as the view style, column headers, item icons, and sorting options. You can also support selection, drag and drop operations, and other user interactions. So overall, list views are a versatile and powerful control in Windows Forms that can help developers create rich and interactive user interfaces for their applications. So here is an example of a list view. We can see the list of movies and the year when it was released. Here are some of the list view styles and views. First is the details view. This style displays data in a table with columns and rows. Each row represents an item, and each column represents a property or attribute of that item. Next is the icon view. There are two types of icon view, the large icon and small icon. Large icon is the style that displays large icons for each item in the list view. It is useful when you want to show images or graphics along with the item names. Small icon. This style is similar to large icon, but the icons are smaller. It is useful when you have limited space to display the items. Next, we have the list view. This style displays the items in a single column list. It is useful when you have a long list of items and want to save space. So lastly is the title view. This style displays the items in a grid which each item occupying a tile. Each tile can display an icon and a caption. Sorting items of a list view. List views can be sorted by any column in ascending or descending order. Sorting can be done programmatically or by clicking on the column header. If the sorted property is set to true, then the list view items are sorted. The following code snippet sorts this list view items. List view 1 that's sorted equals true. For example, if you have a list of names or products, you can sort them alphabetically to make it easier for users to find a specific name or product. Similarly, if you have a table with sales data, you can sort the table by date, sales amount, or any other relevant metric to help users identify trends or patterns in the data. Overall, sorting helps to enhance the user experience by making it easier for users to find what they are looking for and to make sense of the data presented to them. Grouping items. List views can group data by one or more columns, making it easier to navigate and find information. Groups can be collapsed and expanded, and can be customized with headers and footers. To use the grouping feature, add one or more list view group objects to the group's collection of a list view control. Set the group header text and header alignment in the list view group constructor, or set them using the list view group header and list view group header alignment properties. List view groups help your users find the items they are looking for by separating the item into useful categories. You can create whatever categories you need. One typical approach is to group the items based on the way the list is sorted. For example, you can group the items by the initial letter of the item name when the list is sorted alphabetically, or by sub-items such as type or date when the list is sorted by clicking a column header in the Details view. Windows Explorer using this type of grouping. Next is adding columns. The list view control can display multiple columns for each list item. You can use the columns to display to the user several types of information about each list item. For example, a list of files could display the file name, file type, size, and date the file was last modified. To add columns programmatically, set the control's view property to details. Use the add method of the list views columns property. List view1.view equals view.details to set details view. Then add a column with width 20 and left alignment. List view 1 that columns that add file type 20 horizontal alignment left. For example, in a data grid view, you could add columns to display the name, address, and phone number of a set of customers. This would make it easy for users to view and compare the data for each customer in a tabular format. Overall, adding columns to a Windows form control can improve the user experience by providing a clear and organized way to display and interact with data. So, how to create a C# list view? So first is create a Windows Form application, then go to Toolbox and add a list view. Click the small arrow on the top right of the list view panel, then edit columns. Add columns as much as you needed. So I will be adding 4 columns, then I will rename it. First column would be name, then age, then DOB for date of birth, and then registration date. So adjust the width so it would be visible and it would be clear to see. Now adjust the panels. After that, right-click the title of the project and add new item. Go to the newly added item, make the class public and start on creating variables. Public string name, public string age, then get and set, public string DOB, then get and set, public string reg date, then get and set. Now go back to the design and double click the formal. Create a method and make student objects. So private void list view. Now we will create student objects. Student A equals new student. So what I will do is I will assign values to the variables, and this will be added to the list view. Name Jana Pojeda, age 20, DOB is January 30, 2003. Then registration date is April 15, 2023. Add student B, then so on and so forth. I will just copy and paste this, then change the values. Student C, change name, age, and date of birth. Student D, change name again, then date of birth and registration date. So next is we will create a string array, and we are adding the elements to the array, which is the name, age, DOB, and registration date. Then create a new list view item for the row A, and then add it to the list view 1. Do the same for the following students. Now lastly is call the method on the form1 load. Then run the program. Just debug some errors, then run the program. So here instead of D, A is inputted to to the added list view item. So here is the list view.